Fun fact, America is now a third world country, officially, according to a new European study. I'm gonna tell you about it. But unfortunately, I think a lot of Americans know this already. This is not just due to the healthcare crisis, okay? 70% of Americans have mental health issues and they cannot get help for it. Why? Because 3/4 of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck right now. They don't even have enough money to get good food. This is not because of a food shortage, okay? It's simply because they literally can't get it. They don't got no money. Homelessness, the worst it's ever been. Substance abuse, the worst it's ever been. Crime rates, through the roof. And I don't know if y'all know this, but because of all that, other countries are telling their citizens not to travel to America. Not just because of the safety of their own citizens, but because there's a lack of safety for our own citizens. Throughout history, the wealthy has tried to be like, white people, you guys have wealth, you guys have all this stuff, and then people of color, you guys are poor, you guys don't have anything. We're all in the same boat, and we've always all been in the same boat. It's just really bad now. The wealthy control the country, and they have the most benefits from this country, okay? Not us. They made us, or white people, they made y'all believe that you guys had a lot of benefits, but you really don't. We have to wake up and work together. Get rid of the idea of race, okay? We have to work together.
Today was one of those days where I felt like life is just passing me by and I'm not doing anything with it. Like, is this really what our purpose of existence is? To just like do the same thing over and over again? Get up, go to work, go to the gym, come home and go to bed. We spend majority of our lives just doing this rat race, and it quite honestly eats me alive.
There's frustration with the 9 to 5 where it's just not enough, where work is not fulfilling the promise that it did for the boomers and beyond. A starter salary is not what it used to be, and the way that we work and live has had to evolve around that. This generation has to go about things differently. Gen Z seems to be searching for broader freedoms and a world dominated by corporations and advertisement, and also, if you have a feeling, just medicate it. And also there's student loans and a housing crisis, and we have this hyper-individualism. Also, the earth is burning. And so some would say, well, just give up, but all you can do is try and save it.
Right now in America, there are more second jobs per household than there has ever been since they have been keeping track.
We are living in a world where it's impossible to survive. The cost of living is exorbitant. Groceries, exorbitant. Everyday necessities, exorbitant. And people are making shit wages. And now I have to go back and think, am I gonna have to get a second job just to cover my student loans? This is not sustainable.
The world that we live in is not sustainable. And we are absolutely living in a silent depression. And we need to talk about this a little bit more.
The majority of the population is depressed and is burnt out. And then you're beating your own self up because it's a nice day outside and you can't even get out of bed.
I'm not unmotivated, I'm exhausted.
We are not meant to just pay bills and die and work our asses off until we're old and we don't have the energy to enjoy our life.
We don't have money to retire. We barely have money for groceries. We don't have the energy to do anything because we're constantly being traumatized by everything that has happened in the past 4 or 5 years.
None of us are okay. I feel like we're all in a darker place mentally than we've ever been. Things are not getting better. It feels like the end of times, and yet we're forced to go to our 9 to 5, shrug our shoulders, and pretend like it's all fine. It's not fine.
So at the end of the day, we have two choices. Stay quiet, sit down, and let this new version of slavery kick in where it's not even chains and whips, it's taxes and fees. Or we can get some shit done.
The world is full of people who want to make a difference. People who see wrong in the world, they know how to fix it, they know exactly what we should do. And we have no power.
Capitalism is destroying the planet. The rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poor. We're getting priced on literal roofs over our heads. Rent is so high. Eggs are $20 a dozen. Wages have been stagnant since the 1990s. Everybody hates each other for no stupid reason. We just keep gaslighting ourselves into believing that if we go to just enough therapy or read just enough self-help books or do just enough mindfulness exercises, that somehow we will find peace in this absolute clown show that humanity.
I have a full-time job that years ago I could have raised a family on what I make. And it's like now I have to do side hustles, to supplement my income because it's gotten so fucking expensive to live.
It's crazy you have to work 75% of your life, donate, give up 75% of your time pretty much just to literally survive, just to live. Not to live comfortably, not to live well, just to live.
And you're having people struggling over money, struggling over food, struggling over finding a place to live. What do you think you're going to expect from America? You're going to get more violence. You're going to get more people attacking other people. You're going to get more of the looting in different stores.
And then it's like I woke up all of a sudden and my insurance has doubled, food has fucking tripled, gas is so expensive, electric bill over double, my fucking rent went up. I can't be the only one that's drowning.
Everybody is going through this bullshit. Everyone. Can't go to Canada, can't go to the UK. Everyone is dealing with just not being able to sustain life.
I've never had so little money in my entire life. All of my money goes towards my bills and food for me to eat. And half the time, I have to choose between filling my car with gas or eating.
Wish that I could just have a job and do my job and go to work every day, and it would just pay for life. It would pay for a roof over my head, it would pay for food on my table, it would pay for medical bills, it would pay enough for me to like save money so I could retire one day, you know, like basic things.
I am 36 years old and I have nothing to show for 20 plus years of work.
$70,000 a year, not enough? Is a bachelor's degree not enough? Is 2 jobs not enough? And the only thing we hear is, we'll stop Starbucks and stop your brunches and your 3-day vacations. If you get up and take care of your house and take care of your friends and your family and your body and work 50 hours a week plus commuting, don't you think that person deserves a night out or a Sunday?
At what point is it literally just too expensive to live? Like, when do we, because we keep on talking about it, we keep on talking about inflation, and we keep on talking about salaries not meeting it, and we keep on talking about the minimum wage, and we keep on talking about all this stuff, but like, at what point does that bubble burst? And it literally is just too expensive to be alive, even if you're working a full-time job.
Is it true that automatically you can jump from capitalism to socialism? No. The ruling bourgeoisie will try to kill you first, suppress you. So when Marx says in the Communist Manifesto, you must win the battle for democracy, it means you must assert your democratic rights, the right to assemble and speak out, and all the other rights. And then when your mass movement becomes big, and then they will try to suppress you, they will come out with fascism. So before you can have socialism, the monopoly capitalist class will unleash fascism under various pretexts. They use chauvinism against immigrants, xenophobia, Islamophobia, and also many other tricks just to hide the roots of the crisis.
Shalom, Kahala Yahweh B'Shem Yashai, B'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Israel. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to go into the downfall of America, which is biblically known as Babylon the Great. But before we go into that, let's read this. This is Isaiah 14:4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. And this is what we are watching in these videos and experiencing in our current days, is the financial, moral, and societal breakdown of America, or like I said, Babylon the Great. You see, these devils that are in rulership over the world, who the world refers to as Caucasian, who biblically are referred to as the Edomites, also the wicked, the devils of the Bible, the Antichrist to come in the end days. These people, namely the top echelon of their nation, what we refer to as the 1%, the 3%, these people are currently seeking to change the entire world. You may have heard of it as the Great Reset. And for them to bring forward this Great Reset, they have to do a couple of things. One, mainly, is to destroy the current world powers. That includes America and the Western countries who are ahead of all these other countries in the world. Now, in the first video, you've seen that Judite girl bringing out the statistics, how a European organization brought out proof that America is now considered a third world country. Okay? And like she said, this isn't just because of the medical system, but it's for the economic system. It's for the standard of living here in America. If you're young, it's hard for you to see this because you've never experienced anything prior to than what you know. But if you were alive and, let's say, in your teens, at least in the 90s, or even, later, early teens or later adolescence, you know that America was very different. It was a lot more freer. You had, everybody was friendlier with each other. The economy was, even though it was supposedly bad, it was fairly good, right? Your money went further, but not in these days, right? Like the people in the second video, right? How they were complaining, the average day job does not support you anymore. That there are more second jobs held by Americans today than any other time in history, and that people just hate people for no reason. That there's been division stoked up, between the people. The nation has been divided, and it's about to be conquered. And again, this is all biblical. This is Ecclesiasticus 13:19. As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. And this is what we are witnessing, right? With all the planned inflation that is hitting society, not only here in America, but around the world, this here has systematically, as planned, destroyed the middle class that used to make America strong. Now that the middle class is gone, these devils are bringing forward their socialism, right? Their communist, or what eventually their worldwide new world order will consist of, which is a socialist, communist type of system, okay? And like the guy in the third video says, you can't go from capitalism directly to socialism, right? These devils gotta basically tear down before they can build up, right? The order out of chaos. And again, a lot of these people in these videos, they don't know what's going on. See, and that's because they are wandering aimlessly. They have no anchor in the storm, right? Like Donald Trump said, right? The coming storm is going to upset a lot of people, and we're currently living through it. But guess who is not being affected? Well, it's us Israelites. Though we may experience some economic turmoil, may be affected by things going on in the current world, ultimately, if you're right with the Lord, your compass is pointing straight forward to prophecy, to the future, right? You're not letting these things get you down like it's making these other people depressed, right? What did these people in the second video say? That they're tired, they're overworked, right? Is this it? Is this what life consists of? You see, this is all that the people of the world have to look forward to, is a life of slavery under the current wicked that rule the world, that being the current Edomites, okay? And that's because they don't believe in the Lord, right? They may say they do, but ultimately they're not into the truth like they say they are, right? They're actually lying to themselves, and like most Christians, they're only paying lip service to God, but they really don't believe. Okay, if they did, then they understand that this place is not a place of rest, especially for us Edomites. That this place here is a place that these devils use to gain control of the world. This is Wisdom of Solomon 15:12. But they counted our life a pastime, and our time here a market for gain. For say they, we must be getting every way, though it be by evil means. You see, the Negro, Latino, and Native American, the Israelites, we are the primary slaves here in America. But you see, the rulers of this world, the Edomites, namely the kings of Edom, are a devilish bunch. They're so wicked that they've even imprisoned their own nation. This is why you see your everyday Joe and Karen struggling just like you Jakes. Now, they obviously don't struggle as much because the system wasn't set up to oppress them, but they're still here in the bottom with us. They've been thrown into the cell along with all these other nations that have sent over people who just haven't managed to get up on their feet. Now, this right here is simply a system that is meant to chew you up and spit you out. Just like you have some Israelites that do manage to crawl up and make something of themselves, you also have some other heathens who manage to crawl down here and get oppressed just like the Israelites. Now, that being said, we're starting to see a lot of people go through this turmoil, and again, this is all planned by these devils in power through their great reset, because you see, they're going to bring the people down to their knees and make them beg for a solution. And this is when Esau is going to bring forward their New World Order agenda and their mark of the beast, the universal basic income, which Canada is now talking about doing further studies on adopting it nationwide. And you see, and don't be surprised if you start hearing more about universal basic incomes in other countries, including here in America. Because you see, these devils, to get you attached to their system, they got to get you hooked. And how do they get you hooked? Well, by giving you free money, getting you reliant upon this system. This is Matthew 16 and 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasure upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. You see, you Negro, Latino, Native Americans, you Israelites, this is not our rest. This isn't the end. We are simply in our captivity, and we're just going through the motions here. Yes, we have to make the best of it. And how do we do that? Well, we come back to the Lord. We find our true heritage, and we practice those rights which were commanded of us to practice. And this way, the Lord will bless us in our goings. Now, for the rest of the world, if you're even watching these videos, what do the heathens have to do? Well, they should be going to their leaders, going to their rulers of their nations, and asking, why haven't they gotten, a bite of the apple? Right? Why have they been shortchanged? Because ultimately in the kingdom, these other nations, they're going right into captivity. Now, it's going to be a hard 1,000-year captivity, but after that, the other nations, except for the nation of Edom, will be permitted to go back into their own countries, rule over their own people using the laws which are dictated by the Bible and ultimately under the authority of us Israelites. But the thing is at least in our kingdom, they're not going to be struggling like these people are in this video. They're not going to be shortchanged or treated unfairly. Existence upon the earth is going to be a pleasant thing. It's going to be fair and righteous. This is Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. So, you see those people in the second video that were complaining, looked like they were about to, on the brink of a mental breakdown? Those people are still stuck in Babylon. They are still invested in America. And when America goes down, when America is going through its turmoil, they're there along with it, experiencing all the problems that America is going through, that these devils at the top have planned out. Now, if you're like me or the other Akim who are in this truth, we've separated ourselves from this world. Though we are still in it, we still have jobs, we still have possessions, we still have duties here. We're not invested in this place, right? That which what's given to us can be taken from us, and we're fine with it. We've made peace with that, right? It's all in the will of the Lord. But the thing is we're not mentally connected into the system. If it falls, it falls, right? The sooner this falls, the better for us. The faster we'll be in our own kingdom and our own righteousness, and we'll be at peace. So again, if you've been struggling like these people in these videos, or it's just the current inflation economy has been hitting you, you gotta relax, Aku. You gotta trust in the Lord, and He'll find ways for you to make it. So, hopefully this video was edifying. Until next time, I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahshai, B'Hashem Rakok Kodash. Shalom.